It's fine.
My stomach hurt, bro. Okay, check side chat.
I don't see it anywhere. You said general or side chat?
It's side chat.
I don't see it in side chat.
I'm about to send it right now. Hold on.
Oh shit.
Okay, the argument's in side chat.
All right. Let me read this. Okay. Okay. P1 is God. Contingents need a higher order actualizer, or contingents do not need a higher order
Yep, just a
actualizer.
disjunct. It's just a disjunct within P1. P2, we obviously we're obtaining P, so therefore it's not the case Q.
Okay. Let me read it. Let me finish reading it. Okay. Therefore, it is not true. Contingents do not need a higher order actualizer. Okay. Wait, I thought that this was a different argument. Never mind. Huh?
Any disagreements?
Yeah, I'm just reading your definition real quick. Contingents is, in the causal sense, casually relative reference that can fail to exist, that themselves do not fall under root category. Existence. Okay. So do you want to explain P1 a little bit to me?
Okay, well, one, it's just a disjunct. We have two components within the disjunct. We have P and then Q. Obviously, Q is disjunctive of P. We're obviously saying not God. And then P2, we're obtaining P there. So it's just a DS.
Okay, that's fine. And then P2, like, is there motivation for that at all?
Yep.
Okay, and what is it?
This is more or less categorical. Just to be clear, when we talk about contingents within the causal sense, these things themselves cannot infer their own existence or require instantiation.
Wait, why can't they infer their own existence?
It's analytic.
It's analytically true that a contingent can infer their own existence?
Yes, because within the terms and the abstracts there, we take contingents within the causal sense to be causal relative reference that can fail to exist. The failure to exist there requires the onto grounding.
I don't know. This doesn't seem to be analytically true to me. I mean, I don't even know if I would necessarily agree with this definition of contingent. I feel like it's just adding like a little bit too
You
much.
disagreeing with the definition doesn't take away from the formalization of the argument, especially within its soundness.
Well, your argument relies on the way we're cashing out the word contingent here.
Well, oh my god, you're so retarded. Oh my god. Okay, so when talking about the contingents,
That was like really
when I
fucking
say
gay.
they fail to exist, and when I say there's a higher order being that instantiates the failure or the existence themselves, I'm only saying that these things are not dependent upon themselves. If something can fail to exist and its failure is dependent upon the failure, then nothing actually instantiates the failures themselves.
Okay, yeah. Also, like, so just to be clear, like, I don't think that this is analytically true at all. I mean, we can talk about what you just said earlier, but
Okay.
you're obviously including, like, within your definition, you're including more metaphysical commitments, instead of actually like telling anything or unpacking the meaning of contingent
Do you
itself.
disagree with the metaphysical commitments within the argument?
Within like the definition of contingent.
Okay, well that too, but the commitments made within P2.
I just think that we can make it simple and say contingent is just something that can fail to exist. We don't need like, fluff.
Okay,
And then
you
what
said
was the
what?
other question?
I don't know what that nigga in chat was saying, but you said what?
I asked what your other question was.
Okay, so do you have any problems with the metaphysical commitments? I mean, it seems like your definition on
Well,
critique
I'm
doesn't
telling you
respond
that
to anything.
that it's not analytically true because you said that contingent is just analytically true, that it can't be like some sort of
But that's
infinite.
not actually a
Wait,
response.
hold on. Let me finish. So basically, kind of where I was trying to get at was like the idea of maybe there can be like an infinite causal chain or something like that. But like as we were getting there, you said it's analytically true that these things can't instantiate
I'm not
themselves.
disagreeing. There's an infinite causal chain.
You don't.
I
Okay,
just,
so you think that could be
I
possible?
just deny it with, infinitivist or
Wait, speak up.
infinitivism.
You deny what?
I just deny it with infinitism there. I don't believe the set
Deny
itself can
infinitism?
obtain infinitism virtues.
Okay, what's the issue with
I'm
that?
not saying you're obtaining it. I'm just saying that it's just
No,
baked
no, no,
into.
no. Listen, I'm
Chill
asking
out.
you for like the
I'm saying,
issue.
chill out. I'm just saying it's baked into the way in which we talk about the terms within within P1 and within P2.
Okay, and where is that baked into?
Okay, when talking and understanding about the failure, you just saying it doesn't seem to be analytically true. It's not an actual response.
No, I told you why it's not analytically true. I told you it
No, you
adds
didn't.
in
Can you motivate that
it's
proposition?
adding in synthetic commitments, right? So it's not obviously analytically true. Like what the fuck?
Holy. Okay, just to be clear, so we're on the same page. Do you think a definition can't talk about things within reality?
What? That's not what I'm saying. Okay, what do you think I mean by adding in synthetic commitments?
I'm not saying that something is
Yeah, okay, so you
analytically
don't know.
true
Anyway, so
and
all I'm
something
saying,
is
right, is
both.
that you're
Well,
adding
one,
in.
you're
So when
confused.
we're
I
talking about
think you're
something being
equivocating.
analytically
Wait,
true,
Well,
wait,
one, I'm
it's
not
chill.
gonna,
not true
I'm
by
not gonna let you
definition,
cut
right?
me off while
If
I'm
something isn't
continuing
true
to
by
talk.
definition, it's adding
Wait,
in.
Nat. Chill out, chill out. Let me
No,
speak
no,
real quick.
bro. You can have definitional commitments that talk about metaphysical capacities or quantities. That's not
No,
problematic
but that's not the issue. I'm not
upon the
saying that
understanding of
just
the
because it
semantics
speaks
here.
on
Wait,
metaphysical
careless.
commitments, that therefore it's not analytically true. I'm
Bro,
saying
you can't
it
say wait,
adds
and
in.
then the nigga is cutting me off. Like what?
No, hold on.
Okay,
No. I told her to chill, and
Can
she
we
let
have
you speak.
moderation? I don't know
Yeah,
why the
I
e
got you,
girl
I
is
got
cutting me
you. Look,
off.
because I told her to chill, and then she did chill, and she let you speak. Now you're
Nigga
cutting
dead.
her off. Just let her speak. Just let her speak real quick, bro. Just let her speak. Real quick.
Bro,
Go on.
can I finish, bro? I was literally
Oh,
continuing to
you were
talk.
still talking. Okay. You were
But
still talking.
I don't know why I got cut off.
My fault.
Okay, so
Go ahead.
continuing the critique to the very retarded response. Well, one, no, I think you're equivocating. When we talk about this, when we talk about synthetic commitments, well, one, usually it's within the form of a proposition, or rather, you're making some type of reality-based claim about the nature of reality or other ontologically based events. When talking about the semantical account there, I'm only accounting for the metaphysical capacities and the way in which you formalize them within the argument. Now, yes, you can say it's a metaphysical commitment, just baked into the way in which the argument works, because well, the semantical intelligence just tells us what those metaphysical capacities are. P2 just infers that there is some type of existence to be found there when talking about God and how He exists.
is that it?
Oh,
I think
that's
you're
not a
confused
critique
with
against
what
the
I'm
argument.
saying. I'm not just saying, well, this isn't my whole reputation of the argument. We're just talking about why your definition of contingent isn't analytically true. And so I don't know if you understood what I said. I don't think you've given your response. But obviously, like the way that you're cashing out contingent isn't just true by definition or the meaning alone or like some a priori knowledge. Obviously, you're taking in more causal like things like causal dependence or like brute fact or whatever causal relativity that you talked about. Those aren't baked in by definition of what we're talking about when we say contingent, obviously. So therefore, it's not fucking analytically true.
I'm on mute.
Oh my God. Okay. When you say things are analytically true, there are no like epistemic commitments where you have to like justify or like warrant some type of proposition. The same way regular propositional sentences work, where you make claims about the actual nature of reality or the way the word works there. I'm not doing that, retard. I'm only telling you the metaphysical commitments, the way in which we talk about the definition. Yeah, sure, it can include metaphysical commitments, but it does not mean the metaphysical commitment itself is being made. We're saying they're true. You retard.
That
I'm
doesn't
only
even like
telling
make
you.
sense.
I'm only telling you. I'm only rather telling you the specific language we're willing to adopt there when talking about what constitutes God and the way in which we understand the contingents. So it is the case that it's analytically true because the way in which the language works there, it's carried onto the term itself. It doesn't require any like higher order epistemic commitments or other like epistemic material in order for it to get its truth value. Because it does not work the
Okay,
same
that's
way
fine. So
as synthetic
I think
propositions.
maybe where we're getting confused
The
here is
reason
like,
why it's analytically
Wait, hold
true
on.
okay,
the reason why it's analytically true that talking about the fair of existence is there, something that is of the same member or of the same set or of the same type of existence cannot instantiate itself. It's just the case because the way in which we understand instantiation and the way in which we understand fair of existence there, if they can fail to exist, then something that can fail to exist cannot fail to exist upon another thing that can fail to exist because there is nothing itself that instantiates or grounds ontically the failure of existences. And it's just the case that when talking about causal reference or causal based reference, they require ontic grounding.
Okay, I'm on mute.
can I talk now? Yeah,
Yeah.
so I mean that's fine. So we can move on from. I don't think we're gonna get anywhere talking about if it's analytically true or not. The only reason why I brought it up and have an
Okay,
issue
you
with
lost
it
that point.
is because okay, sure. I don't know if you don't have self control or anything, but So anyway, so what we were talking about was the issue of it being a infinite set or something like that. And then you said, right, that it was like analytically true that it can't be infinite or that it can't cause itself to exist or something like that, I think is what you said. You can correct me if I'm wrong.
Now, do you want me to
I'm just
unmute for
asking.
that?
Yeah, you don't need to keep muting him.
I got you.
Bro, chill the muting, bro, please. Oh my God.
Yeah,
Okay,
you don't
no,
have to mute.
that was a non-commitment. I never said that. I
That was
only
like
rather
the
told.
whole point
Well,
of
I'm
me
not
going.
saying it's analytically true as an infinite set. That's definitely not what I said. I'm more or less referencing the causalities, like individually speaking, in the way in which they work. I'm only rather telling you that these type of things within a set require higher order instantiation that's not already contained within the set itself.
Okay, that's fine. So then maybe we just got confused there. Because what I thought you were saying, because what I was talking about was an infinite set taking place or something like that, or like a contingent, yeah, whatever. I don't need to go into that, but you said that basically was analytically true that like essentially that couldn't be the case. I think that's where we were having the issue. We could
What?
that, but
Okay. One, I think you probably made a few category errors because you confuse an analytically true statement with something that's synthetically true or of synthetic composition. I never once equivocated the two. I rather only told you that you're only like definitionally understanding or having specific language adoptions for the way in which you formalize the terms and nuances or virtues within
I
the argument.
understand what you were saying.
So
I
yes,
understand.
yeah. So trivially so, the way in which you understand the language does obviously hold metaphysical commitments because you're saying there is some instantiation to be found there. That's trivial. That's within
I
P2.
know. I'm not even talking about that stuff now. You've already made that clear. We already, understood that. What I'm talking
Okay.
about is the infinite set issue that we were talking about in the first place.
Okay.
Um,
What
that's
is your
where
problem
we're
with
having
that?
issues, is you said that you didn't say that you were saying something is analytically true, that it's, it can't be an infinite
No,
set, which is
I said it's
what I heard.
analytically
Now,
true. The way in which we talk about contingents and all other causal, principles or understandings, we just hold these things to mean that we're talking about the argument there. So anything else that doesn't, have the same commitment, at least semantically speaking, would be a type of category error. Because the metaphysical commitment is made obviously sufficiently when we understand the type of conditions that are being evoked within P2 and within P1.
yeah, I don't know. I think, like, so that's fine. Like, I don't want to keep going in circles because I don't think you're understanding like what I'm saying, but that's fine. So,
Okay,
I guess
so can I just so this conversation is progressive and we're getting something out of the conversation? Do you have any problems with this argument instantiating the set of these type of causal
yeah,
potencies or
I mean, I think
things
that
or
there's been
virtues?
like solid refutations to the idea of contingency not entailing causal dependence. Sorry, I have my retainer and like have a list, but like for example, so from like what we get from X is contingent, obviously would never. I don't think at least it would follow that X requires some sort of higher order clause, which is like basically the whole hinge of
Is this a
analytic.
proposition you hold to?
No, because we can have hold on. We can have a possible counterfactual where a contingent universe or contingent set simply maybe would exist as a brute fact,
That's a category.
exist, and fail to exist. Um, I don't know why we're laughing I mean, you were just like freaking
It's a
out because I told
category
you.
error
Okay, do you want to explain
because
the category?
that's not how we understand contingents to be within the argument. That's a
Oh, wait,
category error.
okay,
Started.
okay, explain my argument that I just said, and
The
then
reason
explain
why it's a
how.
category error is because the theoretical set or the thing of the set of virtues that we're adopting here in the argument does not hold brute properties. So you can't make that kind
I
of
didn't even
critique.
say brute property. I didn't even-
Well, one, you say contingents that have no higher order instantiation or explanation.
It's actually not what I said at all.
Oh,
I
holy
can
shit! Oh my
repeat what I
god.
said if you need me to.
Okay. So yes or no? Can somebody verify if the ego did
Can
not
someone
just say?
verify, did the word instantiation even come out of my mouth?
You said the contingents themselves just exist. I doubt. Okay, well, one, the way the argument works is that it denies there being any type of onto grounding if there isn't any higher order onto grounding that supports these causal reference.
Okay, I just want to know,
I
like,
mean,
so
I believe it's just rooted in the way in which we talk about the flavor of existence there, that there needs
that's
to
fine.
be a
I don't even
requirement
think
onto
this is an
grounding.
actual objection to what I was saying because you actually got completely incorrect the argument that I was
So
going to provide.
is the
So I don't know if I
objection
should repeat it
so,
or
okay.
or
So are you propositionally committed to the objection? Yes
am
or
I
no? Answer the question.
propositionally committed to what now?
To the objection. Do you believe the
What
objection
does
is
it mean
true?
to be proposition? I'm sorry.
Are you retarded?
I'm sorry, bro. Like that shit was
Okay.
funny. Like spamming buzzwords.
So
Anyway,
do you
what was
take
your
the
question again?
statement?
Sorry. Go ahead.
Okay. So do you take the objection to be a type of statement that is true fact? Yes or no?
My objection.
Yes.
Um, I think that what I'm providing does have truth aptness to it. I don't understand,
Okay.
you know,
Okay.
should,
Okay. So how do you justify the
are you
truth
gonna
on
ask you my theory of
proposition?
justification or something?
That's not what I asked you, retard.
Well, I know you didn't ask me anything because I was talking over you when you asked it
I
to
asked
me. So
you
why don't you ask it
one
again?
when you talk about the truth aptness. How are you justifying the norms in which you adopt when appropriating the truth aptness connected to the proposition?
Like my theory of truth?
Sure, you could say that.
Why are you going into that? Like, can we just
This
talk about the actual conversation? Because like that has nothing to
okay.
do with
Well, one
you're pulling
if
like Chloe said in chat, you're pulling
if the
pulling
objection
in Ramon, bro. Like
well
you're better.
one
Like I thought you were better than
so you
this. Why
can't
are you pulling
respond
in
to
Ramon?
a AKA a mon type of argument.
No,
Very
I
ass.
can, but like I just thought maybe you were
Okay, so
smarter
if the
and like we can
objection
actually
is
have a conversation.
so
Because
well
listen,
one
listen, listen. Can you mute
like
him? I want to say something.
I
brother,
got you.
why am I being muted when I'm talking?
Okay, look,
You
look.
asked me a
I'll be
question. Do I
charitable.
get
Look,
to
look,
respond to the
look,
question or do I get talked over?
look. I'll be
Okay,
charitable, bro.
great.
Because you asked the
I just want
question.
to say this real quick. Listen, like I don't have any interest in like talking about theories of truth about this conversation because we're having a theism debate. Now, if you want to go there because you want to run from the argument, that's totally fine, and we can conclude. But you look really bad right now because of that, so I wouldn't conclude.
Okay, now Careless, I'll let you speak. Here you go, brother.
Oh, okay. I guess we can conclude that you didn't respond. Okay. Embarrassing.
Whoa.